In this video, we're going to go over features of a parabola. So I have a parabola graphed here. This point right here is called the vertex. The vertex is the lowest or the highest point that the parabola will ever travel. Now this one has a minimum, it has a lowest point. It does not have a highest point because this one will go up forever and ever and ever. This parabola has a maximum. That's the highest that parabola will ever get. It does not have a minimum because it will go down forever and ever and ever. A vertex is a point. So if you were asked to write the vertex, you would simply write the x-coordinate, then the y-coordinate with a comma between them. The vertex of this parabola is -1, -9. Some parabolas have an x-intercept. That's where the parabola hits the x-axis. Sometimes parabolas will have two x-intercepts. Sometimes they'll have one x-intercept. And sometimes they'll have no x-intercepts, like this one. The x-intercept is where it hits the x-axis. Another name for the x-intercept might be zeros or roots. If you are asked to identify the x-intercepts, make sure you give them the x and the y coordinate, but sometimes they'll just ask you for the x coordinates. So the zeros of this parabola are 2 and -4. The roots of this parabola are 2 and -4. The x-intercepts of this parabola are 2, 0, and -4, 0. Parabolas sometimes also have y-intercepts, which is where the parabola hits the y-axis. The parabola here has a y-intercept of -8. Its y-intercept can also be written as 0, -8. Now, all parabolas are symmetrical. So, parabolas have something called an axis of symmetry. And that's the line that cuts the parabola perfectly in half, vertically down the middle. The equation for the axis of symmetry is always x equals, and then the number that it hits on the x-axis. This one hits the x-axis at -1. So the axis of symmetry here is x equals -1. If you're not sure what the axis of symmetry equation is, just look at the parabola because look at the vertex, because the x-coordinate of the vertex is always the same number that the axis of symmetry formula will use. See how this is -1? The vertex also has a -1. So one more time to recap, we have the vertex, we have the axis of symmetry, we have the x-intercepts, sometimes called the roots, and we have the y-intercept right here. That's all. Thanks for watching.